Hello and welcome back to another episode of The Call Box. It's where you go for police info. And I'm your host, Lieutenant Vince Lewis, coming to you once again from beautiful downtown Phoenix, police headquarters. And I've got my co-host today, PIO Sgt. Brian Bauer, Silent Witness Program Coordinator. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you very much. Second person chair. I like it.
Yeah, and that mustache is something else, I got to tell you.
Been working on it.
Yeah, I can only imagine what it's like. I can't do that.
No, I feel like a firefighter right now.
No, don't say that. This is a police show. They have another 15 minutes. But hey, this is a fun one. Okay, this is one that I've actually been wanting to do for quite some time. We've got a very special guest here from the Phoenix Film Office. We're going to talk about the films and TV shows and commercials and such that have been filmed here in Phoenix, but have involved the Phoenix Police Department or had some ties to Phoenix or the Phoenix Police Department, either on location or in mention, that's that kind of thing. So actually, I didn't realize this, but there were a lot of famous ties in movies to Phoenix, the Phoenix area, and Phoenix Police. Did you know about that?
I did not. I'm actually really interested in learning, and I suggest get out a pen and paper and copy down some of these movies so that you can kind of look back and see the background and say, yes, I've been there.
Yeah, it's going to be great. A great time. So let me go ahead and introduce our special guest from the Phoenix Film Office, Phil Bradstock. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Appreciate you being here.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your position and the Phoenix Film Office.
Sure. Well, the Phoenix Film Office has been around for over 50 years now. It was born on October 8th, 1974. A little bit older than I am, but not by much. And I am basically the third person that's held the chair as the film commissioner for the city. I've been doing it since 2006, so over 19 years now. And prior to this, just a little bit about myself. I was at Warner Brothers Television for 6 years before I met my wife and decided to move back here to my home, which is where I grew up here in Phoenix. And I run the film office, which basically handles all the logistics for when film crews want to come to Phoenix and to film. So whether you're filming our parks, our airports, trying to film on our streets, any of the government buildings, I basically am kind of like the planning and development department, and I go through the plans and make all the arrangements.
So when you get applications or notice that a company would like our permission to film on our streets, the connection that we have is, and I thank you for this, is that you give us an advance notice of when a company is going to go out there and do things like fire off shots or blanks, or do like takedowns in the street, or depict police, interactions and calls and things like that. Because I would imagine that kind of thing is going to generate some interest and may even trick people into thinking that it's actually us doing it.
That is very correct. And we always find that the more notification, the better. And there's been many, many cases. I actually have a speech to do that I talk to college students about with this, because a lot of times people try and do things without notification, where passerbys have gone by a cafe or a restaurant and there's a bank robbery scene being filmed, but they've not told anybody about it. So someone calls the police and the real police show up with their guns, and then we have a problem. So we're there when those type of situations arise to make sure that a police officer is there, and these are all paid off duty, so they're paid by the production company to make sure everybody's safe, and that the local precinct or whoever will receive the phone call is aware that this is a movie shoot that's going on, so there are no accidents on set and everybody is aware.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that's good, notifying the public as well, because I'm sure if they see a whole bunch of lights and sirens in their neighborhood, they're probably wondering what's going on. Is it safe for my kids to go to the park? And little do they know it's just a movie being produced over there.
Yeah, and we always try and get as much notification out as we possibly can. We really leave it up to the production companies to notify the residents and the neighbors in the area or the downtown businesses. But we also have a police officer out there, and just their presence alone, they'll be the ones that generally field most of the questions. And they're standing around with their multicolored vest on, so they're not actively engaged. So people know there's really nothing that's going on. But that is the best way that we find, and it really cuts down on any problems.
Yeah. So I know we've had some SAG card holding police members or employees here, but do you know of any of the officers that have been pulled in as extras? Or
we actually kind of have a line that we don't allow that.
Oh, okay.
Because of your uniforms and some of the logos, because we don't want the City of Phoenix Police Department to be depicted, because it could be in a negative way, it could be in a positive way, but we just say, if you want to have someone on there, you need to go to a costume shop and rent a police outfit, and then they can be on there. Now, the police officers that are working maybe on the set that are helping out, they're more than happy to say, hey, listen, when you pull the gun out of your holster, this is how you would do it, because they'll have a fake gun. Mm-hmm. A lot of these people don't really know what they're doing, and they'll maybe show them how to walk around a corner. So they will give them some advice, or, if they need the red and blue lights going, they'll back their motorcycle up and flip the lights on for them. But generally speaking, they're not on camera.
Awesome. All right. Well, we're going to talk about some movies in Phoenix, set in Phoenix, and filmed in Phoenix right after the break. Stick around.
I'm a busy mom. I'm I'm also a Phoenix police officer devoted to keeping our community safe.
I'm a Little League coach. And I'm a Phoenix police detective, and a part of the team here too.
Find endless career options with one of America's best large employers.
Welcome back. We are talking with Phil Bradstock from the Phoenix Film Office. Phil, pop quiz. Can you tell me the name of this movie? Can you tell me the movie where this came from? You're driving me to Phoenix. Any idea? Spoken by an elderly woman at a backyard picnic.
No.
80s. Okay, I'll tell you.
I mean, I was born in 86, so you gotta.
Imogen Coca. National Lampoon's Vacation.
Oh,
Do you remember that scene?
vaguely.
Okay, she played Aunt Edna.
Okay.
This is National Lampoon's Vacation in 1983. Chevy Chase, Christy Brinkley, and the tie there is that they're trying to make it from Chicago to
Right.
supposedly L.A., where the Wally World thing is, and they get detoured by a number of things. And when they end up at his cousin Eddie's, Aunt Edna needs a ride to Phoenix, and that's
Right.
how they end up getting there. But she unfortunately she does not make it all the way through. She does end up tied to the roof of the car.
Spoiler alert.
So that was set in Phoenix, but not filmed in Phoenix.
Right.
So yeah, we wish we got rainstorms like that. Actually, this year was pretty good. How about Raising Arizona?
Yes. That is a very classic movie that was shot out here. In fact, what was a funny story is that the house where Nicolas Cage goes to steal the baby out of, do you actually know where that's located?
Is that Paradise Valley?
It's actually the Phoenician.
Oh,
When you first drive into the Phoenician, it's right there on the left. And what was funny, I believe it was 20th Century Fox. They did this commemorative ceremony of their 100 years, probably back in the late 2000s. And they invited me out there for the plaque ceremony. And I was standing next to the kid who was the actual baby. And on the scene where at the end with the motorcycles, where they grabbed the baby. And he, of course, did not remember anything. And I asked him, how did he get the role? And he said, because I laughed at the character. Every other kid was crying, but I thought he was funny, apparently. So that's how I got cast and was in there. But yeah, another fun shot. You know when they burrow out of the prison?
Mm-hmm.
You know where that scene is?
No.
Water treatment plant, 24th and Lincoln.
Oh, that's right behind one of our police stations.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's crazy. How about this? There's a series of black and white photos that are circulating around the internet involving Marilyn Monroe, taken about in 1956. You know the movie I'm talking about?
Bus stop.
And what can you tell us about that one?
All I can tell you is that I once had a German person call me and ask me where it was shot because they wanted to go see some locations. And I had never seen the movie, but I looked it up online and could see the Veterans Memorial Coliseum in the background because of the roof, and kind of told them where I thought it may be, but that it wasn't there anymore.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Here's another piece of trivia. Can you tell me what is significant about December 11th in the city of Phoenix? Mayor Gallego actually named it a specific day after the connection.
This is the Gauntlet Day?
This is Psycho Day.
Oh, Psycho Day. That's right.
Yeah. What can you tell us
the
about
opening
that?
credit. So it was interesting. There's a gentleman who came out and shot frame by frame. I want to say today, but it was 2010. So even today it looks very different, but it was shot from the corner of the Orpheum Lofts is where the camera was placed. And that's where the whole pan goes. And it's really fun to look at South Mountain because there's only a few antennas, and then it zooms in on the Barrister building, and then it does a smash cut to a soundstage. But that's where that whole shot took place right there. And then there are also some background shots where they got some plate shots. So the guys are in the car and there's people walking back and forth, and you can see the corner of Central and Adams, I want to say, like the hotel that's right there. So that's on a screen and they're in the car, but they weren't actually at the physical location. But I believe it was shot with a B unit, and Alfred Hitchcock was not actually here, is my understanding.
Oh, okay. Well, you did mention another big one, and this is kind of near and dear to the Phoenix Police Department. This was huge. It involved a lot of us. In fact, my dad was one of the extras. Shot in 1977. Did you hear the name of the movie?
Gauntlet.
The Gauntlet
Yeah,
with
absolutely.
Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood, and the story there is he is a Phoenix police detective. He's kind of not a very savory character, as it were. However, he's given a special assignment to go to Las Vegas, pick up a witness, and bring her back to Phoenix, not knowing that he's going to have to defend this person to even get her to the final destination because the whole department's dirty and nobody wants them to succeed. What can you tell us about the Gauntlet?
My understanding is that is the reason why the police department is no longer allowed to act in movies. And when you look at that final shot of them going down Adams, And I'm not a police person. I don't hunt or anything, but you've got the cops on either side shooting at each other at the bus, which I think is a complete no-no, I would assume. And then on top of that, once they get to what is now the convention center, but it used to be where the Symphony Hall was, that big plaza with a nice round fountain, he murders the police chief, and then there's a shootout, and all the cops are just standing around doing absolutely nothing. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that the actual commander at the time was very happy with Phoenix Police Department being portrayed in that way, of looking like idiots, quite frankly. And so that, along with a couple other projects that came later, they said no more police being on camera in our uniforms.
Yeah, no more. My dad, he's been on the show a couple of times. He was an extra. Told me they got $400 for the 2 days worth of work, and they had to do it off duty. But yeah, they were in uniform with our logos, using maybe our equipment. I'm not sure. But
it looked pretty. I actually watched it again today, and it looked pretty legitimate to me.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right, so some of the other movies that were filmed in Phoenix may or may not have had some involvement with us. The Grifters. It's set in LA, but they used Old City Hall. Now, we've done some episodes of Old City Hall with the jail in there and over there at First Avenue in Washington.
Yeah, I don't know that movie. I can tell you that The Kingdom filmed in there with Jamie Foxx when they shut down the 202 freeway back in the day. So it would have been in 2006, 2007. And actually, it was like the Department of Defense or but that is the old chambers that's in there. And you can tell by the wall. Unfortunately, the Internal Affairs went into that particular building, so we lost it as a filming location. But we used to do a lot of filming in there, and that jail on the top floor, although I will tell you that the fire department said no more going up there, which I understand because it was fun. It's a single stairwell for the inmates, and there was only one entrance and one exit, and it probably was not a safe place. So it makes sense, but it was a lot of fun to go up there.
Yeah. Well, we can go on forever, but Brian, let me ask you this. Do you know the 1989 movie with Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter that was supposedly set in San Dimas, California, but filmed here?
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
All right.
Oh, absolutely.
Metro Center, the ice rink. The old Chuck E. Cheese at 35th and Glendale. You remember that?
Oh, very well.
Yeah. So some of those houses of those characters are still here, and you can kind of approximate the look there. But yeah, that was probably a fun one. I know my first dad got to work off duty at the Metro Center during that, and he was so excited when he came down and told us, hey, they're filming a movie here in Phoenix about a couple of guys, and who the heck knows. But anyway, the list goes on and on. But definitely I want to thank you, Phil, for coming on the show and sharing that with us. We can find out more information probably by going to phoenix.gov.
Correct. Yeah. Actually, my website is filmphoenix.com, and that'll kick you over to our website where we got a whole history of all the movies, TV shows, commercials, everything that's been shot here in Phoenix.
Excellent. I want to thank you, the viewer. You can catch the video versions of these shows on YouTube. And I just want to remind everybody that you too can help solve crime in your community by sending tips to Silent Witness. Visit silentwitness.org and call 480-WITNESS. We are hiring. Go to joinphxpd.com. And for everybody else out there, stay safe.